Welcome to the Real and Real Estate Podcast, your go-to show for real estate success. Whether you're an agent aiming to crush it or a buyer or seller wanting the inside scoop, we're here to deliver expert advice, insider tips, and the real talk you need. Each episode, we chat with top industry pros to give you the facts, strategies, and inspiration you need to thrive in this business. Let's dive in and make big moves together. Hi, welcome back to the Real and Real Estate Podcast, where we talk to the experts to get the facts and dispel the myths. And today I'm here with a real expert, Miss Katie Lance. She is the guru of social media and AI. In fact, she says her secret sauce, I'm going to read this, empowering real estate professionals to achieve incredible results using social media and AI without sacrificing loads of time, which is wonderful as a real estate agent because we don't have enough time. So thank you, Katie. Welcome.
Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate the invite.
You're welcome. I also want to point out you have a book, Get Social Smart. So everybody check that out. And you have a ChatGPT and Canva AI Masterclass for 2025, which I am signing up for. And hopefully everybody out there will sign up for. So thanks again for coming.
Absolutely. My pleasure. It's an exciting topic.
It is. AI is just, it's overwhelming to most people, I think. And I was talking to Marky Lemons the other day, and she just put out a post that said, if you're limited in funds or time, start with ChatGPT and Canva. And I've been using Canva for years, and I think people that use it and know the program, if you have the professional program, didn't even realize we were using AI.
I know, right? It's amazing. And there's a lot of new updates to Canva also that continue to improve on the AI. And it's just such a huge time saver. You know, real estate agents, there's only so many hours in the day. So to be able to have a tool that helps save time can be so helpful.
Absolutely. I think I started using Canva before it was real popular, but you can do so much on there. And now you have the AI component as well. I mean, I do everything from business cards to flyers to just everything. And I learned ChatGPT. I'm sure I have a lot more to learn, which is why I'm going to take your class. But it's amazing. Most people think, well, you know, it'll help you write things, and it does. Of course, you need to read them afterwards, but it will also do things like create pictures. I actually have written 2 books, and I ask it to help me do a cover. I mean, it can do so many different things. It's just amazing. So let's get started. Tell us what, as real estate agents, especially ones that are just starting out, trying to get used to AI and learn more about it, where do we need to start? What do we need to do?
Sure. Well, I think the exciting thing about AI right now is especially compared to any other technology or any other platform. It's really simple. Honestly, in many ways, AI comes down to just asking questions, and which is much different than trying to learn Facebook or Instagram or TikTok or a CRM or there's all this different technology that can feel very overwhelming. But with ChatGPT, first of all, it's totally free. So if someone doesn't have an account, they can just go to chatgpt.com, sign up for free. There's also an app as well that's free. And you can honestly begin by asking questions. It could even be non-business related. You could say, hey, I have these 10 ingredients in my refrigerator. Do you have any ideas for what I could make for dinner tonight?
Okay, that's a great idea.
Heck, you can even take a picture of your fridge and upload it to ChatGPT and say, hey, based on what you see, can you make some recommendations for meal planning? And
okay, so it goes the other way too.
Yeah. Right. And so obviously that's not business related, but I think the more you can start to get used to just asking it different questions, for business, it might be, hey, I have a listing that's been on the market for 90 days, and here's some things we're already doing. Do you have some suggestions for additional creative marketing ideas? Or I'm taking on a new listing that was, listed by someone else, and here's their description, but can you rewrite this? How do you recommend that we make this better? And so I look at AI especially ChatGPT, as such a great companion in a lot of ways to brainstorm, to help come up with ideas. I don't think it'll ever replace a human. I don't think it replaces you. But if it can give you an extra boost, maybe it just helps you an extra 50% to be a little bit more efficient. And then you can go in and kind of change the wording a little bit, make it sound more like you, double check, of course, for things like fair housing. Gosh, it's a huge time saver in a big, big way.
It has saved me time just from writing property descriptions, which I know is an easy thing for realtors to say, "Oh yeah, I use it for," you can use it for property descriptions. But you're right; you have to read it. You have to make sure it's correct, accurate, doesn't violate anything. But it
Yeah.
saves a huge amount of time. I had not thought about doing from pictures to text, but text to picture. If that makes
Oh, and
sense.
that's a huge thing, especially with the latest update with ChatGPT. I love the ability to upload pictures and even video. I was actually just on a coaching call this morning with some of our students, and I was suggesting, I said, if you've recorded a few videos, let's say you've recorded a couple 30-second, 60-second videos that you're going to put on Facebook or Instagram, you can upload that video to ChatGPT and say, I just recorded this video. Please review it. Based on what I said, create a compelling caption for Facebook or LinkedIn or TikTok or whatever. So it's reading what's on the video. Same thing with pictures. You could take 10 listing pictures, upload them and say, here's my listing photos for 123 Main Street. Based on what you see, can you create a listing description or can you create a caption for my video? And it's almost like reverse engineering it. It's really cool. And it's come so far in how ChatGPT was just a couple years ago when it first launched. And so that uploading ability to upload, photos, videos, screenshots, even it's really incredible.
Yes, and I think it just came out or started really in 2022. So it's been
Yeah.
3 years or less than 3 years. And it's
Yeah,
changing constantly.
absolutely. It's changing in a big way. And I see it, especially since I really focus in the area of social media and content
Mhm.
creation. I think there's a big opportunity for agents and brokers to use it when they are repurposing their content. For example, if they've got, again, maybe one great video that they've created, being able to say, hey,
Mhm.
based on this one video, can you turn this into an email newsletter or a post for LinkedIn or a blog or, a caption for Instagram and just being able to have that same thing, but repurpose it, and almost recycle it, if you will. It
Yeah,
just comes down to like working smarter, not harder.
absolutely. And that just gave me an idea. You mentioned blog. I'm from Houston, and our HAR, Houston Association of Realtors, actually has a blog that you can do through their system. And I never thought about what you just said. I mean, I could have it write a blog for me based on. Oh my goodness, that's just mind blowing. I hadn't even thought of that. That
And
is a
you can
huge
even
time saver.
we've seen agents in our academy where they've taken an article, maybe from HAR as a great example, or maybe an article from Inman or an article from NAR, and they've said, hey, here's an article, but based on this article and what you know about me, how would you take that and rewrite this for the Houston market, right? Or the such and such market. And you obviously feed it some information, but it just takes, again, just can take that heavy lifting off your plate to be able to create something quickly and easily.
Absolutely. And I guess you could also say, give me an idea for a video based
Hmm.
on this information. And it can give
Yeah.
you, because sometimes people just don't know where to start. It
Hmm.
can help you get started.
It can even give you scripts. And we're seeing some agents, there's a great free app. It's just called the Teleprompter app. You can download it for iPhone or Android, and you can create a simple script in ChatGPT, copy and paste it, put it in that app. And the way the Teleprompter app works is you hold your phone as if you're recording a video, but it slowly goes across the screen. So if you are someone who needs a script, and which sometimes is important if you have a lot of facts and figures and you don't want to be looking away or looking down,
Right.
you can just have the script right in front of you. So it's a great kind of hack.
Absolutely. Definitely. That's amazing. Well, talk to us a little more about social media. We've talked a little bit about Chat GPT. Now, I know you can also do videos in Canva, right?
Yeah, absolutely. You can create videos in Canva. You could edit videos in Canva. There's AI features. I mean, for example, in Canva, now you do need the professional version of Canva, which I
Mhm.
believe is like $12.99 a month. And I'm not affiliated, with Canva or ChatGPT. I think they're
I'm
great.
not
I
either,
use
but
them.
I love it.
Right, exactly, exactly. People always ask. It's like, no, I'm not getting any kickbacks or anything. I probably should, but yeah. So with Canva, you can go in. If there's a lot of different things that you could do. I would say for a lot of people when it comes to video, the easiest thing is just to record on your phone because it's quick and easy.
Yes.
but you can throw it into Canva and add some fun little graphics if you wanted to. You can use some of the AI features to add some text and add some graphics. And then there's also lots of templates. If you're just kind of stuck going, you need some inspiration, you can go into Canva and search real estate templates or real estate reels templates or video templates. And oftentimes there's a lot of templates that don't even require you getting on camera, which I think it's important from time to time for us to see you and hear you. But maybe you just want to create something where you're like, I've got a bunch of pictures and I need to put that into a video. Canva is great for that, to be able to create a simple kind of slideshow video or just something where there's an image and music and text. And it's, again, pretty quick and easy. So it's awesome.
I think a lot of people don't even know to ask. So if you're trying to come up with an idea, you might not know what ChatGPT can do or what Canva can do. But like you said earlier, just go in and ask. You never know what you're going to get.
Yeah. And honestly, if I was all new to this, I probably would go into ChatGPT and I would give it a little bit of information about myself. So you might say, I'm a local realtor in such and such area. I've been in business for 20 years. I'm with this brokerage, and I'm just really trying to figure out how to best use ChatGPT and Canva for my business. Can you give me some ideas? Can you give me some suggestions? And it'll give you a bunch of ideas. And then you can go from there and go, well, what do you mean by this? Or how do I do this? And it can be a little bit of a rabbit hole that you go down. And
yes, you can spend a lot of time playing with it because it's
for
fun.
sure.
I went in one time and did, I think it was 30, I love quotes, 30 real estate quotes. And then I was able to put those into Canva and send it out through social media, like one a day, like to do a reel. If I had to go in and recreate that every day, that would take forever. But it just did it for me like this. Of course, I picked and chose what I wanted to use and what I didn't. But that's a great way to create reels.
Yeah. And in fact, what you're talking about, I don't know if you did it this way, but there's a function within Canva called bulk create, where you're basically bulk creating 10, 20, 30 pieces of content all at once. And inspirational quotes are a great one, or real estate tips, testimonials. And you basically just get all of your content in one list, whether it's you've written it out or you've used ChatGPT to help kind of create that. You pick a template, and there's a few steps to it, but basically within a few minutes, you can create a bunch of content that you can then schedule out to have maybe a tip of the week, maybe every Tuesday's Tip Tuesday, or a Monday market update, whatever. You just, like you said, you just kind of drip it out and you've got it scheduled. So it's not like set it and forget it. I think it's important to still show up and connect and engage with people. But if you can set aside time, maybe it's an hour a week where you're creating some content, getting some stuff scheduled, it gives you so much of a relief versus, oh, I need to post something, just getting yourself into a plan.
Yes. And I usually tell my agents, pick one day a week. Mine happens to be Monday. And for 1 hour, do this and this and this and this every week. And then you're done. And if you're doing 30 quotes, you might just be done the first Monday of the month or whatever.
Yeah.
And now time for a short break.
Ready to jumpstart your social media strategy? I'm Katie Lance, and the Get Social Smart Academy is your go-to for smarter content planning. Get weekly trainings, Canva templates, and AI tools to save time and grow your business. Go to katielance.com/academy to join us today.
ChatGPT. We're always talking about tone and voice. Well, the first time I used it, I put it in and saw what it wrote, and then I just went in and started playing, like make it a friendlier tone or make it a more professional tone. Is there an easier way to do that? Or how do you suggest people get it a little more like what you might say?
Sure. So the free version is a great place to try out ChatGPT, but at some point I do think it's worth upgrading to the paid version, which is $20 a month. And with the paid version, there's a couple things that you get that I think are really worth it. Number one, the memory gets updated a lot longer. So the more you use it, especially the paid version, the more it remembers how you ask for things and what your preferences are, which is great. Also, in the paid version, you can go into your settings and really customize who you are. You can say, I'm a real estate agent. I'm in this area. These are words I like to use. This is a tone I'd like. This is what I don't want this tone, or I don't want this. And you can really kind of customize how you interact with ChatGPT. And I find that that's really, really helpful. and just being able to, again, sort of customize what it sounds like, what it doesn't sound like. So yeah, definitely,
It
definitely
saves
recommend that.
time in itself.
Yeah.
That's a time saver.
Yeah,
Well,
just
what
those
else
two
does it?
things alone, because otherwise you're
Okay.
going back and forth going, oh, make it more friendly, make it more professional. And it's just, if you can ask something and within a couple responses, you'd be like, yep, that's great. That's what I'm looking for. Perfect. It's just a huge time saver.
Well, what else would you think would be important for someone to know that is just really trying to get used to all of this, get started with it? I know we talked about ChatGPT and Canva. Anything else in those, or is there another app or program that would be helpful?
Well, I think one thing to consider is, I kind of touched on it a second ago, is I think you have to get a plan together for all of this. It's great to kind of dabble in ChatGPT and try it out and use it for things like listings and videos and emails. And Canva's awesome for graphics and videos. But I find that if you're just kind of doing it here, and you don't really have an overall plan, it can kind of feel like you're just throwing spaghetti at the wall,
Yeah.
to see what
Yes.
sticks. So I always recommend for agents, take a little bit of time, if possible, put your out of office on for a day, or maybe half a day, and really work on a plan. And I think it could be as simple as time blocking. I really recommend for
Mhm.
like you mentioned, set aside
I
an hour
agree.
a week where you can create content. Set aside some time where you're going to engage and respond to people and interact, which is almost as important because social media is
Absolutely.
social. you know,
Yes.
that's important. And so, it doesn't have to be super complicated, but a lot of agents work pretty well with time blocking, right? We see a lot of agents time block for door knocking or phone calls or writing thank you notes.
Right.
So follow that same advice when it comes to social media and content creation. Get yourself into a system, get yourself into a schedule. The other thing that really helps too is to do a brainstorm of content ideas. And this is where a lot of folks get a little stuck. They're like, I don't know, there's so many things I could talk about. I don't know what to talk about. And so they sit down for their 1 hour to create content and they're like, wait, what am I doing? So I recommend like having a running list. It doesn't have to be fancy. It could be on a piece of paper, but having a list of ideas of stuff that comes up all the time, stuff that you could just talk about, without having to do a ton of research, things that you get asked all the time, and having a running list, I think really makes a big, big difference. And so that way, when you're sitting down for that hour, you're like, okay, cool. I've got this list. I'm going to hit these 5 topics, and just being able to create something quickly and easily. We are creatures of habit. So the more you can kind of get
Yes.
yourself into a routine, I think that's hugely important.
I'm a big proponent of planning and
Yeah.
scheduling, as you just mentioned. So you do a business plan each year. You can also do your social media plan. Think of it that way.
Yeah.
It's an
Yeah.
integral part of your business.
Yeah, absolutely. And one of the things we've been teaching a lot inside of our academy, we run a Get Social Smart Academy, which is kind of like a membership site. And one of the things we teach is every month for your marketing, have a theme that you're going to cover that month. So it could be working with first time home buyers, it could be working with investors, it could be focused on sellers. And if you have a theme for that month, pretty broad theme, then from that one theme, think about all the different pieces of content that you could create for that one theme. So if it's first time home buyers, you might go, okay, I'm going to put out one video a week for first time home buyers. That's 4 in a month. I'm also going to do a newsletter. I'm going to, maybe do a LinkedIn post. Like you can kind of think about all the different
Right.
places where it could be. But sometimes just having one simple theme each month doesn't mean you couldn't sprinkle in a few other things here and there.
Yeah.
It just makes it a lot easier. So then it comes down to
Yeah.
not, oh my gosh, I need hundreds of ideas. No, could you come up with 12 themes or maybe even just 6 and then repeat your themes, you know,
You could.
um, in the middle of the year. So that also helps you when you think about who you want to work with. Because if you really think about who are your people, who do you love to work with, you can start to think about that in terms of your content. If you don't really like to work with first time homebuyers, then don't create content
Yeah.
around
Yeah.
first time homebuyers. You'll still get some of those people reach out to you. But if
Right.
you really want to work with,
Military.
military, yeah. Or we have someone in our academy who works a lot with divorced families. She's gone through a divorce, and so that's like very near and dear to her
Empathize.
heart. Yeah, exactly. And that's not for everybody, but she has really started to put out some great content that attracts people who are going through that transition in life. So you got to just do a little bit of thinking. Who do you want to work with? And the beautiful part about content is what you put out there, you will start to attract. And it's a really cool way of doing business. It's like attracting versus chasing leads.
Well, yes, and that's much better. Much better business plan. I love the idea of one theme per month. I think that really will help people focus. And I also want to mention, and this is not going to hopefully not sound like a commercial, but in your class, ChatGPT and Canva AI, you also have the option of getting 365 social media post ideas, which I think is very helpful as well.
Absolutely. It's something we've been offering for a long time, where it's, you can print it out and it's basically, 365 ideas literally every single day out of the year. And we have a lot of folks who print it out, and, not every idea is going to resonate with you. You might look at that and go, oh, I would never talk about that. That's fine.
Well, mark it off your list and go on.
Exactly. Yeah. And then again, maybe use ChatGPT to go, okay, I've got these 10 ideas, but I need 5 more, So it's just all about keeping it simple, simplifying your life. And I would say the other thing, Jean, is that, exactly. Planning. And the advice I always give people is, look, done is better than perfect, right?
Yes, I love that. Perfect. I've heard, yes.
It doesn't have to be an Oscar-worthy performance. It's like, just get it out there, because people need to hear you. They need to hear from you. We need to hear you. We need to see you. We need to hear your insight. And we all have, insight. We're going to attract different types of people. You don't have to be everyone's cup of tea either.
No, you can't be.
It's all good. No.
Yeah.
No.
This will help you focus in on what you need to be doing. I love that. Yeah. Well, I try to keep the podcast to 25 or 30 minutes, and we're getting close. So anything else you want to add before we come to the end?
Sure. I was going to add one other tool that I've been using. So I know people love to hear about tools, and it's related to AI. So your questions around AI. There's a great tool I've been using for video editing, which is called Descript. It's Descript. Descript.
I've heard of that.
And it's fabulous. Basically, there's a free version, there's a paid version. And basically the way it works is you take your video that you record, you upload it, it transcribes the whole video.
Wow.
And then there's an AI feature. It's called Underlord.
Okay.
And you click that and it'll, through the power of AI, take out any times that you pause. It'll take out duplicate words. So if you say things a few times, it'll edit for clarity. It'll even fix your eye contact if you're not like looking at the camera. It's amazing. It just cleans it up and makes your video just a little tighter, a little bit more concise. And I've been using it for a ton of my videos. It's just saved a tremendous amount of time. And for anybody who's already creating video, but maybe you're struggling with just like getting it edited and making it better, I would definitely recommend that tool. The AI functionality in it is amazing.
So is it pretty user-friendly then for someone?
Totally. That's my barometer. It's like, this has got to be easy.
Yeah, good. I love that.
It's super easy. And beyond the AI part, because it's transcribed, the way you can also edit your video is you can just delete the words in the video that you don't want, and then it takes it out of the video. So if you're like, it's like, I shouldn't have said those 2 sentences, or I shouldn't have shared that story. You just delete the words and it takes it out of the video. It's amazing. Oh my God. It's so cool.
That is amazing.
Yeah.
All right. I'm getting that as soon as we hang up here.
Okay, good. Yeah. Check it out. Yeah. Let me know. Let me know what you think. It's
absolutely. It's no, I will. Absolutely. And I am signing up for your class and probably the Academy.
Good. Yeah. What's cool about the Academy includes all the classes. So if you are a learning junkie like me and you want to,
I am.
Like, you sign up, you get access to everything, or you can choose classes, and we sell those one-off also. So we try to make it easy for everybody.
I'm one of those realtor brokers that have all the alphabets after their name because I just keep taking classes. But I think it makes me a better realtor. Therefore, I can help my clients better. That's my opinion.
I agree. I think you never stop learning. And the moment you get to the point where we're like, oh, I know it all. No, you always stop learning. You can always improve.
Yes. I real quick, I had a person when I was first starting out. I've been in the business 17 years. And they said I was taking my first GRI class. And she goes, classes are for people who don't know how to sell. That made me so mad. It's like, no, I think I'll sell better because I am taking classes.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I even teach that in our academy. I'll say things like, let people know when you're taking a class, and
Yeah.
and when you post about it, to let people know that you're doing it because you're trying to serve your clients at a higher level. It's not, oh, look at me,
Absolutely.
I'm going to this conference. It's, no, I'm going to this conference because I'm investing time so I can serve my clients better. That's like what it's all about.
Investing time in them as well
Yeah,
as me.
exactly.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Well, Katie, thank you so much for joining us today. I know you're very busy and I really appreciate it. And I'm sure everyone listening out there has gained something from it. And go out and check out her website, check out Descript if you don't have it, Canva, ChatGPT, and learn about social media as well as AI.
Thank you
Thank
so
you,
much. I
Katie.
appreciate it.
Appreciate it. And we will have your contact information on the podcast, but katielance.com, correct? Is that where they can find everything?
Yeah. Just KATIELANCE.com, KatieLance.com. We've got a shop with all of our classes. We've got a bunch of free resources, all kinds of tools and tips and ideas for you. So check it out and
Wonderful.
connect with me on social. Anybody who's watching or listening, feel free to reach out on social and send me a DM. I would love to connect.
Oh, fantastic. Okay, everybody. Thank you so much, Katie.
Thank you.
Thank you for tuning in to the Real and Real Estate Podcast. I hope today's insights have inspired and empowered you. Don't forget to subscribe, leave us a review, and share the podcast with anyone who might benefit. Have questions or a topic you'd like us to explore? We'd love to hear from you. Until next time, stay informed, stay inspired, and keep moving towards success.